Hey creators, Creation Coach Doro here, and it's another beautiful day, and I'm back from my walk, and I'm thinking I probably should get in the habit of taking a shower before doing these things because I come in all sweaty. Um, but I had just had lunch, and in fact I foraged some really small milkweed pods that I'm gonna parboil and then saute up for a little bit of a snack. They're just coming in. I went out walking without my bag or anything, and I thought I'm just going to walk. But they're right at the perfect point of harvesting, so I had to get some. Um, so yeah, milkweed pods. Don't, if you do go foraging milkweed pods, be very mindful because the monarch butterflies, that's the only thing they can lay their eggs on for the eggs to be successful in hatching. Um, So yeah, milkweed pods. I just finished watching after I ate lunch. I sat down, watched a little YouTube, and I watched some Al Jazeera. I don't watch normal TV or anything. So I watched a little Al Jazeera and what's going on in the world right now with truckers and farmers, I mean everywhere. And there's and we can all talk about the Great Reset and what's going on with the WEF and, teaming up with the United Nations and the WHO. And there's so much going on out there. Um, and this thing in Netherlands, the farmers, and I'm seeing it in other places too. I mean, they're cracking down on meat production, is what it looks like. And it's because of I guess, the nitrogen emissions, methane or ammonia, I don't know. Um, and they're saying it's for Earth, it's for nature, because we can't keep going in that direction and polluting, which I certainly agree with. And I'll tell you what I think this is just like really out of the blue thinking. Years ago, I watched a movie called The Zeitgeist. Was it the Zeitgeist movement or the Zeitgeist? Anyway, then there's a couple sequels to it, and the one called Zeitgeist Moving Forward is pretty interesting. And I really, really highly suggest everybody watch it. It's produced by a director called Peter Joseph. And the whole concept, it's a societal concept that's being presented. And and this, the whole Zeitgeist movement, I think was based on the work of Jacques Fresco and Roxanne Meadows through the Venus Project. Um, so what it is, it points out some really valid issues, like what are we doing wrong? Where are we going off track as a society, as a culture? Because we are creative. I mean, we can do whatever we want. But it's like we have all these toys and we are making these really awesome towers and castles and making airplanes and rockets to the moon. So we got all these toys to play with now because of these brains. And we've made a big mess. And and so there have been a lot of people out there trying to figure out how to get things back on track. Um, so I watched this documentary years ago called The Zeitgeist Moving Forward, and I thought, wow, this is a great idea because um, I guess I'd have to put in a synopsis. You could probably look at the trailer and see if it's something you want to watch. Um, but it basically, one of the biggest points is that we have to eliminate meat products, which is what a lot of this farming issue is all about, is the meat products. I think they're cracking down or forcing out um, the factory farms. I don't know, but it's kind of looking, because all this talk about saving the world and a new world order, and we're going to get everything fixed. It could be based on these ideas of the Zeitgeist concept. It's basically called a resource-based economy, which is what the Zeitgeist movement was introducing, a resource-based economy. So without trying to second guess what the WEF is doing, I will tell you a little bit about what that resource-based economy is. And we could never have done it until now, because now we have the technology. What the technology requires is lots of satellites. And this is it. I mean, we're talking decades ago. This movie, I don't know decades, but the Zeitgeist, once you can monitor the resources of the Earth from space, sort of take an account of everything, then you can see what there's an abundance of, what there's a scarcity of, and you can allocate according to need and basic needs and what have you. I mean, this gets right into we could own nothing and be happy. In a sense, that's what Zeitgeist moving forward it was outlining. So things would be allocated. You'd have everything you need. Everything would be basically given as long as the resources are available in a balance with nature. It's all about the balance with nature. You can have this much per year and then it replenishes. It's something that never replenishes, you would probably not be able to get very easily. So the resources are being monitored, or could be monitored. Robotics and automation could take over most of the menial labor of everything. I mean, certainly we're getting to that point, right? We're even getting ready to, with a blockchain, we're even getting ready to put a bunch of lawyers out of business. I mean, so we're going in that direction of, letting robots and automation and AI do everything. And of course, then that talks about self-driving cars, and you want something. If you wouldn't own anything, if you want a car, you pull out your phone or whatever you're going to have, your contact lens, and you order a car. It's like a library, and it's brought to you. It's like Uber, but it's probably going to be self-driven at some point. And it comes and picks you up and takes you wherever you want. And then when you're done, you let it go, and it goes and parks itself and waits for the next one. And so everything is going to be like, I mean, this is the Zeitgeist movement I'm talking about. And this I know was in at least 60 countries. We're having annual meetings about how to do this. And I'm suspecting that these meetings have kind of integrated into this Great Reset idea. So there's a lot to it, I mean, just money itself has caused a lot of crime. So this Zeitgeist movie is basically, what would society look like if we're not money-based economy, but rather resource-based economy. And I thought, wow, what a What an interesting idea. And I've had time to think about it for a few years now. I mean, this is an old concept, relatively speaking, these days. Um, so I thought, yeah, if that, if that could happen. And part of it was, there would be no more factory farming, and it would all be kind of permaculture and natural, and everything would be healthy and respecting of the earth, which completely makes sense. And I want that. I've always thought that's, you know, I mean, gosh, even if if there's no money and you can have whatever you want, then what happens with the drug dealers? And I mean, I don't know. Um, Maybe they don't need to make money anymore because they just get whatever they want. Why, why be a drug dealer if you can get whatever you want? I'm sure there's going to be bookloads of regulations in order to participate in this kind of economy. Um, it's very interesting. So I do kind of think this is connected. So if I can figure out how to use YouTube, I will put a link below, wherever below is. My face is below, actually. Got it blocked. Um, and if I can figure out how to set up my, comments and all that below, I'll figure that out. I'll start interacting with people. Anyway, so do I have anything else to say? Get out and get to know the world, the earth, Mother Nature. She wants to teach us a lot of things, I think. I go walking, and today I was pretty proud of myself. I could name almost everything I saw as I walked along. Now, granted, I only walk a couple miles here and a couple miles back, and so my little area, I know my weeds, and I know what's growing right here naturally. But I'm sure if I went, 50 miles down the road to another area, it would be different. I mean, there'd be a lot the same because it's still the same zone. But we all have to get to know our little space. Because I think there's going to be a lot of upsets in the food distribution system right now, or globally. Farmers and especially cattle farms, dairy farms are, I mean, it looks to me like they're being shut down. Not by mandates or anything. They're kind of being squeezed out with these laws to protect the earth. And there's arguments. Oh, it's not to protect the earth. I don't know. They're trying to just take control of everything. And honestly, yes, I think they really are taking control of everything. And it's going to potentially be a big mess before it all can come back together again. And of course, the big question is, yeah, but who's going to be sitting at the top of the pyramid at that point? Who knows? Who knows? But I do know I can cook up milkweed pods and give. And by the way, lots of nourishment. Oh, and another one I learned today: um, white pine pollen. And I've got lots of white pine around here, so when that starts happening, I'm gonna save up, because you can save jars of white pine pollen, and it's like, I don't know, 40% protein or something, very, very high in protein. So that's what I do to to feel better about the uncertainties of the world. And I keep trying to envision better things because I think that's where it all starts. So with that being said, stay creative.